Hi everyone, this is Lena. Welcome to my channel. Today I have two projects for you. This one is a little wooden stool that I found at the bins, so I rescued it. It was split in half, so I repaired it by using some very strong wood glue and clamped it together and left it overnight so it was fully dry. Once it was completely dry, I removed the clamps and it's quite sturdy, and I bolted it from the bottom as well, and so that it's nice and secure and it's not going to collapse again on me. And I used some wood filler and some spackling to fill in any cracks and unevenness on the top of the stool, and I gave it a good clean as it was very dirty. So my next step is I'm going to use some white Agnese white chalk paint, and I'm going to give the bottom half of the stool 2 coats, and once that's dry I'm going to then sand down the top of the stool. Okay, so my stool has had 2 coats of the Agnese white chalk paint, and I'm quite happy with that, and it's been drying out. It's completely dry, and now I'm going in with my sander and I'm going to just sand down the top, and as you can see it's come out beautiful. So I'm just removing all the excess dust by using a damp cloth, and then the next stage what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Mod Podge glue, but here they call it slightly different in Portugal. So I'm just going to coat the stool with a bit of amount of this glue, and then I printed out some words, a template on a normal printer paper, and I reversed it, and now I'm going to just remove some of the excess paper and completely rub that down, and I'm going to leave it to dry for a couple of hours. And once that's done, I'm just pouring some water over the paper and then just going to rub off the layers of the printer paper. This technique I found quite difficult, and some of the letters didn't print out as well unless I did something wrong, but the result came out still beautiful and very rustic looking. It's almost faded as if it's worn off, so I'm quite happy with that. I didn't really want it to be bold anyway. And now I'm going in with some antique wax and giving the top of the stool a good coating of that, and leave that to dry. And I'm also rubbing down some of the chalk paint just to distress it slightly. I'm using a damp cloth to do this. I'm not going to go full out, just a few areas. And once that's done, I'm going in with some Agnese clear wax, and I'm giving the whole stool a good coating with the clear wax to seal everything in. And so this is how the little bin trash stool that I found by the bins turned out. So somebody threw away this stool that was broken. I brought it home, gave it a little bit of love. Yes, it was a little bit of work, but not too much. And I transformed it, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks very rustic and farmhousey, which I absolutely adore. And yeah, and so I'm really happy with this. Why don't you guys give this a go? Go to your local thrift stores and have a look if they've got any little stools like this. Maybe you can give it a go and transform something old into something beautiful. And so I'm going to show you guys what I did next with some scrap wood. So carry on watching and you can see some beautiful transformations and so thank you for sticking around and watching the second half of my video. And here I've got some scrap wood that I've found. I think the local builders were using and they threw out. So I've got the two end pieces which will act as my legs, and I'm just cutting two little triangles at the bottom. So I'm just going to insert a photo so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. And now I'm just marking out where I'm going to put my nails and my screws and to nail these little legs together into the top half of the wood. And then I went in with some spackling and some wood filler and covered any holes and imperfections that were in the wood that I didn't want showing. And then I gave the whole thing a good sanding down. So now I'm just painting the legs of my footstool in the Agnese white chalk paint, and I'll give that 2 coats. And for the top of the bench, the little stool, I'm using some dark wax, antique wax, and giving that a good coating, and you won't see any of those marks there. I do remove them a little bit later. And once I've done that, I'm just applying some of the transfer glue, you guys call it Mod Podge glue, and I'm going to do the same reverse printing on there and rubbing down with some water once everything is completely dry. So here I'm placing my reversed print onto the Mod Podge glue and leaving that to dry, and in the meantime I'm going back in with my antique dark wax and just giving that another coating on the exposed areas. And once my little print has dried, and I'll rub that down with some water, I will then go back in with some more dark antique wax over the picture. And so here's the final reveal of how my little footstool from scrap wood came out. It's really cute, and you can use it for standing in the kitchen to reach your cupboards or rest your feet, while sat on the sofa. You can even sit on there. It's quite sturdy, and or just have it as a decorative piece, or you can have it as a little shelf in your kitchen. Why don't you guys try something else like this? It's very simple to do. I wish I had a circuit machine, otherwise I would have cut the motifs out. Maybe for Christmas I might buy one, because I prefer that than to using the reverse rubbing technique. I think it's more work and it doesn't come out as good, but in the meantime that's what I'll use, as I don't have anything else. I can draw it by hand, but it would take a lot longer, and I'm super pleased with this. Something that the builders had chopped out, the scrap wood, I've turned into something very farmhousey and unique decor piece for my home. So if you guys enjoyed these two crafts that I did today, leave your comments below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because every week I will be posting a new craft to do on a budget. Thanks for watching Lena's Home Creation, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.